Yes. Thank you.
Excellent, excellent. I love it, man. I appreciate you asking and giving me the opportunity to serve and add value and just give a little bit of my experience and knowledge to the group. So I'm excited to share with you all today.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So, dear Kevin, when I reach out to you, you promptly accept my invitation, and I'm this is so great. I truly appreciate. And from the bottom of my heart, I want to say thank you. We
You're welcome.
know that you are giants in personal development, and it is a rare opportunity for us to, yes, to take advantage of your insights, the knowledge that you acquired and accumulated over the years, right? We can't afford to pay, right? And so I wanna tell the attendees to really take advantage of this event, because Kevin is believe me, he's a creative genius. He's a giant, and yes, he will be demonstrated, and you're gonna love it. So set aside any distraction, right? Facebook, WhatsApp, etc., and pay full attention to the content. Thank you.
Man, that was
I
great.
think we
That
can
was
kick off.
great. Shall we get started? All right.
Sure.
So, all right, we'll get started here. Thank you all so much, Jerome. Thank you for the opportunity for me to be here. Your kind words, I appreciate it. I accept them, I receive them. But at the end of the day, I do believe we all are equal. We all have immense capabilities to do amazing things with our lives, and it is only our thoughts, our limits that stop us from doing the things that we really want to do, that we know in our hearts that we can do. And sometimes outer appearances, the external circumstances, make us believe and feel as if it is not possible for us to do the things we want to do. But when we go deep into our heart and we really go into the truth of our essence, our soul, we know that anything is possible. So, for those that don't know me, like Jerome said, my name is Kevin Fernandez. I am a certified coach and speaker with the Napoleon Hill Institute. And Napoleon Hill Institute, I'm sure most of you know, Napoleon Hill wrote this amazing book, Think and Grow Rich, which I have another copy of back there. But this is one of the best personal development books out there. If you if you have read Think and Grow Rich, I would love for you to put a one in the chat, just a number one. I just want to know how many people are familiar with Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. If you haven't read it, then I would love to see a number two. Just in the chat, just put a number so I know who has heard about Napoleon Hill and Think and Grow Rich. At the end of the day, I want to share a little bit about my story today. You know, right now I live in the United States and I'm blessed with a great life, a great wife, a great career, helping people with my speaking and my coaching. But it wasn't always like that. I grew up in Puerto Rico in the Caribbean, very poor island. Um, Not a lot of money, not a lot of luxury to go around. I really didn't know as a kid what I wanted to do with my life. I wasn't one of those people who always knew, hey, I'm going to do this big thing and be successful. I really didn't know. I was living day by day, just going through the motions. I was drifting through life without a goal, without a definite purpose, without a definite shift aim. I was just drifting through life. I I was a victim to my circumstances. I grew up, my parents were very young when they had me. My dad and my mom, they were both 20 years old. They were both 20 years old when I was born. And so they were practically kids raising a kid, and they didn't have a lot of money. They did the best that they could to provide for me, my brother, my family, but at the end of the day there was just not a lot of money. And so I grew up in that scarcity environment, scarcity mindset, uh, of poverty, thinking that there was never enough, thinking that I couldn't have what I wanted, because often when I asked for something, the answer was no, right? And so when we grow up in an environment where we cannot get what we want, we start believing that we can't get what we want, right? That's just how it works. Our circumstances, our environment, the way we go through life, the experiences that we have shape the way that we think. And on Think and Go Rich, at the very beginning, Napoleon Hill talks about the fact that thoughts are things. Thoughts are things. And I remember when I first realized this fact, I realized that the way that I was thinking was responsible for the results that I was creating in my life. Now, we have to truly understand that, yes, there are a lot of things that are outside of our control. There are a lot of things that we cannot control, but it is our intention, our energy, our thoughts, our feelings, and actions toward the things that we can control that make the biggest difference in our lives and the lives of those around us. You see, our environment is a reflection of me, of us. Right? My environment right now is a reflection of me. If I want to improve my environment, I have to grow personally. I have to become better. I have to become more valuable. And the way that I'm going to do that is by investing in myself. I need to grow spiritually. I need to grow emotionally, professionally, financially. I need to grow. And I invest by reading books, listening to books, watching educational videos, learning a skill that can improve my financial situation, becoming a better person, going the extra mile, doing more for others than anybody else ever can imagine, right? So my life truly changed when I decided that I was going to start focusing on serving others at a higher level, not thinking about what I'm getting out of them, but focusing solely on what can I give? What can I give? What can I give? Who can I serve? And it doesn't matter if I have a little bit or a lot. It doesn't matter if I have a little bit of time, a little bit of money, or I have a lot of time and a lot of money. I'm going to give whatever I can give in the moment that I want to give, right? And so I want you all to think about, are your thoughts aligned with the results that you want to create in your life? At your thoughts align with the results that you want to create in your life? Because often the answer is no. Often the answer is no. I believe that we can do pretty much anything that we set our mind to. I believe that. But I also believe that there's a question that you have to ask yourself and be brutally honest with yourself if you truly want to achieve magnificent things in your life. And the answer to that question is what's going to determine whether you're going to achieve those things. So the question is, are you willing to die for your goal? Are you willing to die for your goal? Are you willing to pay the price? Now, when I say, are you willing to die for your goal, I want to be very, very clear. I don't mean literally die for your goal. What I mean is that my current identity, my personality, the way that I think, feel, and act on a daily basis is responsible for the results that I'm getting. And so if I want to create new results, I need to change what? The way that I think, feel, and act, my personality, my identity. And therefore, if I want to create a new reality, new results, I have to let go of the current identity, of the current personality. One of my favorite authors is Dr. Joe Dispenza, and he says, your personality creates your personal reality. Your personality creates your personal reality. Your personal reality is what? Your results. So, how are you doing with your health? How are you doing with your finances? How are you doing in your relationships? Whether that is relationships with a parent, a sibling, a brother, a sister, a son, a daughter, a grandma, whatever type of relationship. How are you doing in your job, in your business? You see, that's our results. That's our results. And if we want new results, we want to change that reality, we want to create a new reality, we have to change our personality. So when I ask, are you willing to die for your goal? That's what I mean. Are you willing to let go of your current beliefs, thoughts, feelings, and actions to make room for the new and improved version of you that is capable of getting you the results that you truly desire? So, are you willing to pay the price? If you're brutally honest with yourself and you say yes, then I believe that you can achieve that goal.
That goal.
But if you do not feel like you are willing to pay the price for the goal that you're setting, then I want to encourage you to change the goal. I want to encourage you to change the goal. And the reason I say that is because if you set a goal and you know you're not willing to pay the price and you don't achieve that goal, what does that do to your self confidence, your self esteem, your self image, the way you think about yourself? How do you feel when you set a goal and miss it, and set another goal and miss it, and hit another goal and set another goal and miss it? Right? It doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good. So we start feeling bad about ourselves. We start feeling worse about ourselves. Jerome, you're very right. You feel disappointed. You feel disappointed. And the more that you feel that way, the more you're going to grow accustomed to that feeling. And you're going to get to a point where you just believe that you're not capable of achieving a goal because the proof is that you haven't achieved any of the goals that you set for yourself. So setting a goal that you know you're not willing to do the work for is the worst thing you can do. So rather than set that goal and keep it when you know you're not willing to do whatever it takes to achieve it, I would encourage you to change the goal. Change the goal to something that excites you, that is a burning desire big enough for you to say yes to that question, that you're willing to do whatever it takes, that you're willing to pay the price, that you're willing to die for your goal. We are spiritual beings. We all have this unlimited potential. I believe we are one with God, with the universe, infinite intelligence, whatever you believe. I call it God. You can call it something else, but I believe we're one with God, and God gives us the infinite potential and energy and everything that we need in order to accomplish what we want to accomplish. But what we need to realize is that our results, our environment is not equal to our potential. Our results and our environment, it's not equal to our potential. I hope you get that. What I mean by that is that how much money you have, what your health situation looks like, what your relationship look like, has nothing to do with the amount of potential that you have within you to accomplish whatever you want to accomplish in your life. Your current circumstances have nothing to do with the potential. It all has to do with the way you've been thinking. You have not been thinking big enough. You've been doubting yourself. You've been doubting yourself. And I'm going to be very honest with you right now. I doubt myself every single day. Every single day, I doubt myself. It hasn't gone away from me, right? But what I do is I take action in spite of being doubtful, in spite of being fearful, in spite of being scared, in spite of feeling discomfort. I'm willing to take action. I'm willing to do what it takes because I have this deep, burning desire to accomplish something big with my life. And maybe you feel that the same way as I do. Maybe you're listening to this and you know that you've been called to do something greater than you're currently doing with your life. You just feel that. So I want to encourage you to tap into that feeling. Tap into that feeling and let that feeling guide you. Ask God, the universe, infinite intelligence, ask for guidance. Tap into that feeling of your wish fulfilled. Imagine what it is that you want and go there in your mind and imagine it as if it's already done. It's already done. So if you want more money, thank you, God, for sending me more money. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You have to live from that perspective. You have to live from that point of view. Napoleon Hill in Think and Grow Rich, he talks about imagination. Imagination. How are you using your imagination on a daily basis right now? Most people use the imagination in a negative way. They use it to worry. They use it to imagine about what's the worst that could happen. Oh, what's going to happen to me if I don't make more money or if something happens to this person or that person. You know, we use the imagination in a negative way. So we need to develop the habit of using the imagination for good, for our own good, for the good of others, for the good of humanity. When you close your eyes and you think about what you want to create with your life, what you want your life to look like, I want you to give it all the energy, all the focus, all the attention to what you want and not to what you don't want. You see, most people, when you ask them, what do you want? They cannot tell you. I would love for you to write in the chat, what do you want? What's your number one goal in life? What do you want more than anything? What is your number one desire? The one thing that you're willing to give up everything else in order to attain this one desire? What is it? And it doesn't matter where you are in your life right now. It's all relative. For For some, it could be something that they might feel like, oh, I don't even want to write it down because I feel like it's such a small thing. It doesn't matter. It's your goal, it's your desire. You don't have to judge it. You can't worry about others judging it. You just have to get emotionally involved with it. You have to get excited about it. You have to be excited about it. See, you need to decide what it is that you want before anything else happens. If you don't know what you want, then there's no need for discipline. You see, a lot of people, they suffer from procrastination. They don't do what they know they should do. They don't do the things that they say they're going to do. They procrastinate. They wait and wait and wait. They don't take action. Now, if you don't have a burning desire, it's easy to procrastinate, because why would you do work for something that doesn't excite you? Why would you go the extra mile for something that doesn't excite you? Why would you? And the answer is that you won't. You wouldn't. You see, it's easy to not have a goal or a burning desire when we have been conditioned by our external circumstances, by our past experiences, to not expect much from life. I know, I've been there. There's been times in my life where I've been like, it's never going to happen for me. Why would I set another goal? It's just not possible. It seems to happen for everybody else, but not for me. Trust me, I felt that. I've been there. But what I know for sure is that if we stay in that mindset, if we stay in that level of thinking, we will stay stuck and our life will never get better. We will never achieve our potential. We will never achieve our goals. Our families' lives will suffer. We will suffer. So it doesn't matter what your past circumstances have been. You have to make a decision, which is another principle that Napoleon Hill talks about in Think and Go Rich. You have to make a decision that you're going to move forward with your life no matter what. No matter what's happening around you, no matter what has happened in the past, no matter how much money you have or don't have, no matter whether you have any connections, any people, none of that matters. What matters is, what do you want and why do you want it? Why do you want it? Are you emotionally involved with that goal? Is there a deep reason as to why you want to achieve what you want to achieve? If the goal is not compelling to you emotionally, you're going to take 2 steps forward and then 3 steps back. You're going to self sabotage. You have to be emotionally involved with your goal. You have to be emotionally involved with the idea of becoming the type of person that can create the life of your dreams. Life can beat us up. I know it. It can beat us up. It can put us in a dark place mentally, emotionally. We can fall victim of negative thinking, doubt, worry, anxiety, depression. Those are all real things that we can struggle if we're not careful about managing our thinking, our imagination, our actions. The number one thing The number one thing that we need to master if we want to master our lives is we need to master our thinking. Are we thinking about what we want to achieve? Are we thinking about what we want our life to look like? Or are we drifting in all kinds of directions based on what's going on around us? Earl Nightingale was a giant in the personal development space. He's a giant. He did pass away. He's still in spirit with us. But he said, we become what we think about. We become what we think about. And so I want to challenge you to take some time to truly think about who do you want to become? Who do you want to become? When I die, and I hope it's a long way from now, we just don't know, right? But I hope it's a long way from now. When I die, I hope that people all over the world, all over the world, grieve me because of the impact that I made in their lives. I want people all over the world to feel the loss, not in a negative way. So I don't want people to suffer, but I want them to feel it just because I want to know that my presence made a difference. And so I want to ask you, what do you want people to say about you when you're no longer here? Do you want them to say, he cared about people, she cared about people, she made a difference in people's lives, she went above and beyond, she always went the extra mile, he always did more than you ask of him? What do you want people to say? That's your legacy. That's your legacy, and your legacy is based on what you do, on the actions you take. Thinking is important. Your intentions matter. But without action, you're not going to make a difference. You cannot think your way to making a difference. It starts with thinking, but you have to take action. You have to take the leap. You have to take that uncomfortable action. You have to. While Napoleon Hill wrote Think and Grow Rich, he mentions the word action over 70 times. About 77 times throughout the book, he mentions the word action. And so when somebody has not read the book and they say, well, you really cannot think and grow rich, they're partly right. They're partly right. You can't just think it, but it starts with your thinking because your thoughts lead to your feelings lead to your actions, and your actions lead to your results, which then fuel your thoughts. If your results are negative, they tend to fuel negative thoughts. If your results are positive, they tend to fuel positive thoughts. And so most people find themselves in a never ending cycle. They look at their results, they look at their environment, they look at their bank account, they look at how many sales they've made this year, and let those outer factors determine what they think and therefore how they feel. We need to completely block out and ignore those external factors, those outside circumstances, and go within and focus solely on our vision, what drives us, what excites us, that burning desire. That's all we need to focus on. When we focus on that and we imagine ourselves with the goal already achieved and we live from that perspective, the universe is at your command. You will attract the resources, the people, everything that you need for the fulfillment of that picture that you created in your imagination. But you must make it a daily practice to be mentally and emotionally involved with the picture of what you wish to create. Bob Proctor was my mentor, and he used to share this story. He used to say that the way to fly was always here. The way to fly has always been here. The laws of physics haven't changed, but it took the Wright brothers to come in and do the work and become aware of what needed to happen in order to put us on a plane and be able to fly across the country, across the world, right? And so everything that you want to achieve, it's possible. It's just a matter of you becoming aware of that fact and how it can happen. Are you aware of how your thinking is limiting what you're accomplishing on a daily basis? We are doing way less than we're capable of. And I say we because myself included, I know I work at this every single day. I try to stretch my thinking, I try to think bigger, but I know that the potential that has been given to us is so much bigger than anything we're doing. And I know because every day we can get better. Today, I can do better than I did yesterday. Today, I can do better than I did last year. Today, I can do better than I did a decade ago. And so, if every day I can do better, I know there's more potential. And so, how can I move forward faster, improve faster, do better things, bigger things at a faster rate? Right? We need to get rid of those limiting beliefs that are holding us back. We need to step into our ideal self, our best self. What would you do? What will your best self do? And when I say the best self, today's topic, when Jerome and I were talking, we talked about self confidence and self discipline. What if you were extremely self disciplined? What if you were extremely self confident? That will be the best version of you. The best version of you is the kind of person that doesn't take no for an answer, that doesn't make excuses, that sets large goals and works toward them, that thinks about others and making a difference and making an impact. It's not about me, it's about we, the team, the universe, humanity. How can we make a difference in the lives of others? That is the best version of you. The best version of you lives from abundance, not scarcity, lives from love, not fear. And so, how can we on a daily basis practice loving others? How can we practice gratitude? It doesn't matter how much or how little we have, there's always something we can be grateful for. There's always something we can be grateful for. Right now, there's someone who's hooked up to an oxygen tank, barely able to breathe. And yet, I'm here talking to y'all, breathing, taking it for granted, like I know the next breath is going to come in. It's a gift. There's no guarantee. It's a gift. right? So, how many things do we take for granted on a daily basis? You see, when we live from gratitude, we live from love. We are not living from scarcity or fear. Fear comes from our ego. Fear, I want you to remove fear from your vocabulary, from your life. Now, here's the thing: fear, it's going to be there. It's going to be there. It never goes away fully. I still experience fear. All the successful people that I know experience fear when they're going to do something that it's new, that is bigger, that they've never done before. Fear is always going to be a part of the game. It's always going to be part of the equation. But what we need to do is develop enough self confidence, self discipline, enough faith in ourselves, in our abilities, in God, the universe, infinite intelligence, that we're going to be able to make it happen. And if we fall short, we're going to learn. And learning is going to make us stronger so that we can go again and give it another try. But this time we're faster, better, stronger because we learn a lesson. So many people try something once and it doesn't work out and they quit. And they quit. If you want to succeed in life, you have to persist. You have to continue even when you're handed a blow. You have to continue. Napoleon Hill talks about having a positive mental attitude. Positive mental attitude is so important, but that does not mean that life doesn't hurt you. Doesn't mean that it doesn't hurt me. It hurts at times, right? But having a positive mental attitude is about making a decision that no matter what life throws at me, I'm going to maintain my faith, my confidence, my discipline, and move toward my goal. And I'm going to keep expecting great things even when they're not showing up when I want them to show up. That's what a positive mental attitude is all about. It's expecting great things to come, even when everything around you looks like it's not getting better. It might actually be getting worse. How can you focus on your goal, on your desire, on what you want when everything around you is going backwards, is going in a negative direction? That's part of paying the price. When I said earlier, are you willing to pay the price for your goal? It doesn't mean just with money, it's with time, with your energy, persisting when you feel like giving up, setting a goal when you just failed and feel crushed because you didn't achieve your goal when you wanted to achieve it. See, that's part of paying the price, is failing, but you fail forward. You fail forward. You fail forward. You set your goal, you take action, and it either works or it doesn't work. If it doesn't work, you use that as feedback so that now you know, well, this doesn't work. I better try this way. Right? But if you don't use that lesson as feedback and instead you give it the meaning that, oh, because it didn't work this way, I don't know how to do it. It's never gonna work out for me. You're done. You're not gonna win. And you're gonna rob humanity, the world, of the gift that God placed within you. You have a gift. I have a gift. We have a gift. And if we are not willing to persist, to grow ourselves, to do the hard things, the necessary things to fulfill the achievement of that goal, to bring that gift out into the world, we are missing the opportunity to make an impact in our life, to make a difference in our lives. I left Puerto Rico when I was 18 years old, left my family behind, left my friends behind, everyone I loved and everything I knew to come to the United States. And I experienced a lot of failure, a lot of rejection, felt lonely. It was tough. It was tough. But I refused to give up. I refused to go back to Puerto Rico, go back to where I was comfortable in, because that wasn't part of my purpose in life. That wasn't part of my burning desire, of my goal. What drove me wasn't there. I knew I wanted to accomplish something big in my life. I knew I had to be here in the United States to make it happen. Now, not everybody has to come to the United States to make things happen. You can do great things wherever you are. I could have done great things from Puerto Rico, but my spirit led me to come to the United States. I was guided to come to the United States. And every step that I've taken has led me exactly to where I am today. And so you need to trust, you need to have faith that if you listen to your guidance, to your intuition, to God, to your inner wisdom, that you're going to be guided in the right way. Now, I want to clarify something, because sometimes people go at this with the wrong expectations. Just because you're following your intuition and your inner guidance and what your spirit and God is telling you to do, does not it does not mean that it's going to be easy. It does not mean that it's going to be easy. It will be hard. Most likely, it will be hard because it's going to require you to step outside of your comfort zone. It's going to require you to learn new ways of thinking. It's going to challenge your beliefs. You're going to be challenged if you set out to achieve something big. You will be challenged. The most comfortable thing that you can do is stay right where you are. Do nothing different. Try nothing new. That's the most comfortable thing you can do. And you can stay in your comfort zone, and you don't have to deal with fear. But I heard something once that I loved, and it said that God placed the greatest things in life on the other side of fear. God placed the greatest things in life, the greatest rewards you can ever encounter that you can give yourself are always on the other side of fear. So if you avoid fear, if you avoid getting out of your comfort zone, if you avoid doing new things, bigger things, better things, helping more people, helping different people, starting that business, whatever it is, if you avoid all the things that make you uncomfortable, you will not reap the rewards that God plays on the other side of fear. So I want to challenge you to think about What is your number one goal in life? What is your number one goal in life? And what is it going to take for you to achieve it? What are some of the steps that you're going to have to take through fear? It's going to happen. They're going to be there. Through fear, you're going to have to walk through it. You're going to have to crush that wall of fear, that terror barrier. You're going to have to crush through it. It's not going to go away. See, it's almost like there's this wall right in front of me. It's an invisible wall, but it's fear. And we feel it, right? And we want to stay here, right where we are. And there's this invisible wall. And the moment we say, I'm going in this direction, we try to move forward, and boom, we hit that wall. We hit that wall. We say we're going to do this, and boom, we hit that wall. And so we stay stuck. We let that fear stop us. We let that fear stop us. And so we have to develop enough self-confidence, self-discipline, enough faith, enough of a burning desire, enough of an emotional connection to the idea that the reward that is on the other side of that wall, so that we step through it, we crush that wall, and we get to the other side. And we get the reward that God placed there on the other side of fear. And we have to do that over and over and over and over again throughout our lives in order to become the person that we can become, in order to achieve the things that we can achieve. It's not a one-time thing. I wish it was one wall that we crushed through and now it's all good. We're on the other side and we're done. It's going to be comfortable from here on out. No. Unfortunately, I'm here to tell you, it is not how it works. It is not how it works. New levels, new devils. New levels, new devils. The higher in life you want to go, the more challenging it's going to be. And not always, because as you grow, especially financially, you can start investing in mentors and coaches and consultants and hiring a team and investing in people that can help you in the achievement of your goal, right? But right now, if you've been stuck, the number one challenge that you've had is leading yourself out of that situation. When you grow to the next level, and now you have a team of people that you're in charge of, that you're leading, now it's not about you, it's about them. So now it's a different challenge, because now you have to learn not how to motivate yourself and lead yourself, but how to motivate and lead others. Jim Rohn once said, don't wish things were easier, wish you were better. Don't wish things were easier, wish you were better. So I want you to think about, where is it that you want to go? Why do you want to go there? And what is one thing that you need to improve on right now? One skill, one habit that you need to develop that will make the biggest difference in your life right now in moving in that direction toward that goal. What is the goal that gets you excited, that inspires you? And based on that goal, just think about what it is that you need to do to move forward with that goal. What is it? And then think about the one habit or one skill that you need to develop right now over the next 30 days, 60 days, 90 days in order to achieve that goal, in order to make the biggest difference in your life? Do you need to get better at a different language? I had to get better at English. Spanish was my primary language. In Puerto Rico, we spoke Spanish. So when I came to the US, I had to master my English. Maybe for you, it's something else. Maybe you need to learn a skill. Maybe you need to start reading 10 pages a day, 30 minutes a day, whatever it is. Develop the habits. Maybe your number one goal is to get in better shape physically. You need to start exercising every day. You need to start eating better every day. I'm not here to tell you what your goal should be. I'm not here to tell you what your North Star should be, what you should be shooting for. I'm just here to give you some feedback, some guidance based on my experience, which may mean or may not mean anything to you. Every single one of our paths is different. Every single one of us has gone through different things in lives and is going in a different direction. We all are going in different directions. So I can't tell you what the best thing for you is. What I want to tell you is that you need to take some time every day to be in quiet, peace, and listen to God, listen to your inner wisdom, listen to yourself, your intuition about what you need to do to keep moving forward toward your goals and dreams. Every single day, you need to take that time. Every single day, you need to unplug from the external circumstances, disconnect and unplug from social media, from your phone, from your bank accounts, from disconnect from anything that does not align with your goal, and just focus on your goal and give it all your energy and ask for wisdom and guidance from your spirit and soul and God and intuition every single day, and make sure that you're taking aligned actions, faith inspired action, faith based actions. Don't let fear stop you. Don't stop yourself. Be willing to pay the price for your goal, for your dream, because everything has a price. Everything has a price. There is a price for going after your goal and getting uncomfortable and doing things that are different and uncomfortable. But there's also a price for staying right where you are. There's a price for staying right where you are. And I believe that's the worst price of all. The worst price of all of them. Because can you imagine if who you are today, what you are today, the results that you are experiencing today are as good as it's ever going to get? Can you imagine that your life will not get better? Can you imagine that you will not get better? You won't be happier. You won't be stronger. You won't be financially abundant. Can you imagine that? If you can, I hope the pain of feeling that and imagining that causes you to take action, because that price, that pain, the regret of staying where you are is the worst price of them all. So I want to encourage you to commit, to make a decision that you're going to do whatever it takes to move forward toward your goal. You don't have to know how, you just have to commit. You have to get emotionally involved with the idea. You have to imagine it. And then you have to ask for guidance every single day. You have to ask your intuition every single day. And the path will be shown. You don't have to see the whole staircase. Just take one step at a time. Just take one step at a time. I hope this has been helpful to you all. I've spoken from my heart, and I hope it has made a difference. Jerome, if you or
Yes.
anybody else have any questions or comments, I'll be glad to uh, open it up now.
Wow, wow. Thank you so much, Kevin. Please, let's give him a hand. This was very powerful, insightful. Actually, this is the first time I heard such a great wisdom, right? Because you shared this insight within your heart, within, I mean, uh, you didn't, I mean, you put it together very simple, right? And you have the, let's say, the power and the ability to simplify the formula, because I've been studying this formula, this philosophy year ago, and it's quite complicated, right? But you have the, I mean, the genius to simplify it so that people, everyone here can get it clear and put it into action. So once again, I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart, because Kevin is he's a creative genius, right? You know how uh, he taught us this material, and he's really a giant, right? And it is an opportunity for us. So I'm gonna ask everyone, invite everyone to ask any question, and I want to start by myself because I'm still studying this material. You know, Kevin. Sometimes it's very difficult when you're living in negative environment, right? Um, it's uh, the way people are thinking is not the right one, right? They are drifting all over the time, and when you try to make the difference, the perception towards you is like, okay, you are, I mean, you are better than them. You get the point? So I'm gonna ask you to come up, or let's say share with us some tips to deal with these people in our environment. How can we stay positive in negative environment and stay course until we achieve our goals? Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So one thing that I would say is that you cannot help someone who doesn't want to help themselves. You cannot help someone who doesn't want to help themselves. If someone is unwilling to do the work to improve their lives, if they're unwilling to listen to advice that can help their lives, that can transform their lives, that's not on you. You shouldn't take responsibility for that. You can only take responsibility for your results, for your life. And so, on that same note, if you have people like that around you that are not positive, that are not willing to do the work to get better, to improve their lives, their results, their attitude, then you have to separate yourself from that. As difficult as it
Yes,
might be, as difficult as it
yes,
might be, it doesn't mean that you're any better than them. You just don't want what they have, right? A negative mental attitude, a bad attitude, is a disease. It's like a contagious disease, and I don't want to catch it. I don't want to catch it. If I stay around that person long enough, it will rub off on me. That negative attitude will become, it will go into my mind, into my subconscious mind, and will destroy everything that I've worked so hard to build, my mindset, my results, my life. We have to be intentional about surrounding ourselves with positive people, uplifting people. And if we don't have them physically around us, then go within yourself, find them online, watch motivational and educational YouTube videos, or invest in a personal development program. Just do whatever you can to feed your mind with positive material, and any material that is in alignment with where you want to go. Any idea that I hear that does not align with my goal, with where I want to go, I need to intentionally deflect it. I need to intentionally push it away. I need to intentionally plant a powerful seed of another thought or another idea that is in fact aligned with my goal and where I want to go. Thinking is the most powerful thing that we are able to do, and yet most of us are on autopilot every single day. We're not truly thinking. We're just going through the motions on autopilot. So if we don't take the time to be intentional about what we're planting in the soil of our mind, the seeds that we want to grow in our mind that are going to be responsible for the results that we reap in our lives, then we're just going to have a bunch of weeds grow in our minds and it's going to get ugly. Our attitude is going to get ugly. Our results are going to get ugly. Our relationships are going to get ugly. Everything is going to be destroyed if we are not intentional about planting the right seeds, watering them, and focusing on that. So, whenever something happens around you that is negative, that does not align with your goal, you need to have the internal fortitude and the discipline to be able to get away from that, take your energy away from that, and go back to the source. Say, thank you, God, because you're taking me closer to my goal and where I need to be. I may not see it, but I trust you. I have faith that the best is coming. I have faith that amazing things are coming. Even if the path is hard, if the road is difficult, I know that what's on the other side is worth it. And I will continue persisting and I will continue doing the things that I need to do in order to enjoy that ultimate reward. And so you take your attention away from anything that's happening out here and you go inward and you thank God for allowing to happen the great things that are happening in your imagination, because your imagination is the preview of what's coming in your life. If you live there and if you stay emotionally involved with that, and if you live from that perspective and you don't give all your power and energy away to the negative external circumstances that are happening all around you. I hope
Thank
that
you
answered
so
your
much,
question.
Kevin. Yes, yes. One more question before passing on to another person. Kevin, I fell in love with this quote from Napoleon Hill. He said, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. And this quote always drives me when I want to set a goal. And I set a big one. But since 2 years ago, I'm still failing to achieving the goal. So I don't know what kind of mechanism I have to activate before, let's say, reaching this goal. And sometimes it lowers my self-esteem. It's like, okay, I'm not worthy of achieving this goal, so I need to settle for a small goal. And when I watch Bob Proto, he always advised to set big goals, C-type goals. So in this case, would you advise me to change the goal or still working on it so that it's, let's say, it's come true? What do you think?
My belief is that if you set a goal that you don't believe in your core, in your spirit, in your heart, if you don't fully believe it, like without a shadow of a doubt, if you would not be willing to bet your life that you're going to make it happen, you don't believe it, then don't set that goal. Because Napoleon Hill says, whatever the
Yeah.
mind can believe,
Conceive.
right?
Yes, yes,
Whatever the mind can conceive and believe. Conceive,
yes.
you imagine it, right? So you imagine it with the mind, but then you have to believe it. So if you don't believe that it's possible for you, all the actions that you take are going to be in alignment with your belief that it's not possible for you. So stretch your goal as big as you can, but that you believe you can make it happen, even if it means lowering your goal in the short run. Because if I'm making $10,000 a year or $100,000 a year, and I say my C type goal, my big goal is to make $1 million a year or $10 million a year, and I don't believe it, I don't have the faith that I can make it happen or that I'm worthy and able to make it happen, then I'm not going to make it happen. And I'm going to be disappointed and delusion. And so we have to set large goals that we believe that are possible. Doesn't mean that we know how to do it. It just means that we believe that it's possible. Does that answer your question, Jerome?
Yes, yes. Thank you so much, Kevin. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, guys, it is your turn now. If you have a question, please don't hesitate to put your hands up.
Yeah,
Take advantage of the presence of Kevin. Hey, believe me, this kind of webinar is world-class webinar. This is world-class webinar, right? Yes.
I have a question.
Yes, please, go ahead.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, Beatrice, go ahead.
Okay, thank you for this source of motivation that you shared with us. And I ask you if it is possible to have access to this book that you present to us online or online. If it is possible to have access. Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, no, Jerome, I mean, we can definitely get them the recording, right?
For sure, yes.
Yes, awesome.
This is the birthright.
Yes, that's right. That's why we're here, to share this with all of you, as many as possible. Who's next? I don't want to. I want to say the name right. Tanoewa.
Yes.
Muriel.
Yes, Dr. Muriel, please. Do you have a question? Take it away.
Yeah, you just have to unmute yourself.
Yes, yes. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Mr. Kevin. We learn a lot. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And I have a question. In real life, it's not easy to achieve our goal because maybe it is not always depending of our decision or our work. It is maybe depending on the vice chancellor or president or other head of the institution, and we try to have the position that we want, but it's not easy. And what is the types that we can use to achieve it? I don't know if you understand me.
Yes, yes. So, Kevin, if you allow me, let me articulate a little bit her question. It is a great question. Actually, she's talking about external factors, right? Like you are working on an institution, you want to move forward and get another position, a better position, but maybe, in Africa here, it's not, it's quite complicated, right? You can be a best student in applying the principle you taught in your own life, but if people, your bosses are not okay with you, in good terms with you, they can hinder you, all right? They can put you down. So how to deal with such challenges in our environment, institutional environment? Do you get it?
Yes, yes.
Negative
And
influence from other
yeah,
people. Yes.
yeah, I'm gonna try to answer my best, and if I don't answer exactly how you want it, then ask me again. But one of the things that I've always said is that if you work for an organization, the organization doesn't promote you. You promote yourself. You promote yourself. And I was talking about this with someone yesterday, and what I mean by that is that if you grow yourself, you invest in yourself, you become better in the role that you're in, whether that's in your company or another organization, doesn't matter. If you just continue improving and becoming better and better and better, it's going to come back to you. If the organization that you're currently in doesn't see it, somebody else is going to see it, and they're going to give you an opportunity that's even better than what you were thinking about, because you grew yourself, you made yourself better, and the universe rewards your income. Your rewards are in direct proportion to the value you deliver to the marketplace. So the more valuable you become, the more you're going to be rewarded emotionally, financially, in all different ways. And so we cannot let those outer factors discourage us, because those outer factors are outside of our control. We need to focus on what we can control, which is our thoughts, our feelings, our actions, our behaviors. If we focus on that and we just do what we know we need to do every single day, we do it for us. We do it for us because we have a high standard. We have a high standard for ourselves. That's what a leader is, right? A leader has a higher standard than other people. I want to leave you better than I found you. I want to make a difference. I have a vision, right? So you have to have a vision for what you want to create in your life, for that role that you want, for that position that you're going after, for that goal that you're going after. And if you know the things that you need to do on a daily basis that are within your control, that's what you need to focus on. And you don't give any energy to the external circumstances, to the people that are getting in the way, to the resources that you're lacking. None of that. Because all that is doing is taking your energy away from the realization of your goal. It's taking the energy away from living from the wish fulfilled. And so I want you to give all your focus, all your energy strictly to improving yourself, becoming more valuable, and taking the actions that you know you need to take in order to achieve your goal. Did that answer the question?
Thank you so
Yes.
much, Kevin.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So anyone else? Anyone else?
Oh, all right. Yes, I'm Anudo.
Yes, thank you for this presentation, and thank you for to Mr. Jerome also. I just want to ask something about how to set a goals. So, for me, one challenge is to know if we have, I think, like a number of goals to set, because sometimes it is difficult for you to set the goals, and it is the beginning of your transformation. So if I have some goals, like if I have 5 or 6, 7 goals like this, is it normal, or I need to prioritize some goals and be sure that yes, in 10 years, in 5 years, I want to achieve this one, and after this, I can set another goals. So, what is your advice on this way?
That's a great question. That's a great question. So too many people have too many goals, right? And they're competing goals. It's one thing if the goals align with one another. So, for example, let's say that you say, I want to have $5,000 in my bank account. And then you say, I also want to invest $5,000 into my business. And I also want to grow the financial revenue, the income of my business. That's okay because all three goals are tied to you doing something to grow your income financially, right? And so if they're all aligned, it works. And you just need to focus on which one of those three that I mentioned. If you achieve that one, will take care of the others, right? And so if I want to save $5,000 and I want to invest $5,000 and I want to grow the income of my business, then if I just focus on growing the income of my business, then I'm going to get the money I need in order to save and invest the money, right? And so you can see how different goals can be tied together, and you just focus on one, and that one goal will take care of the others. Now the problem is when you have competing priorities. So for example, I want to make $100,000 this year and I want to invest 50,000 of it and save it, but I also want to put $100,000 toward buying something else, buying a house or starting a whatever it is, right? Like now that's competing, that's conflicting, and your mind is not going to know what to do because they're competing. So
Yes.
what we cannot do is set goals that conflict with one another. And what I would say is I would set one goal and focus on that one goal for the next 90 days. Set a goal that is something that you feel is achievable for the next 90 days. Doesn't mean that it's your end all be all, the biggest goal, just something. So, for example, let's say that you want to grow your income by $50,000 this year. Well, technically, that would be about $12,500 every 3 months, right? So set the goal for the next 90 days. I'm going to grow my income by 12,500. That means that every month I need to grow my income by a little over $4,000. And that's what you focus on. And you do that, whatever you need to do to make that happen every single day. And if you say, well, that's too large, I don't believe I can make that happen in the next 90 days, then set a goal that you believe you can make happen in the next 90 days. And when you achieve that goal, that's going to feel good. It's going to build confidence. And with more confidence, you now have a higher level of belief in yourself and you can go after a bigger goal. And then you just continue doing that little by little and you keep building on each other. It's like planting a brick and another brick and another brick until soon enough you have this wall that you can step onto to reach for something much higher. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, yes, Kevin. Actually, I found the answer, the second part of the answer to my question, and this really resonated with me because yes, we have to. It's like we need to break down when we set a big goal. We need to break it down and make it, oh, someone is producing noise, and make it achievable so that our mind can, let's say, conceive it, right? Because if the goal stays too big, it's like making a quantum leap, and it's, if you are not really, I mean, good at applying the principle, you're not going to really manifest the goal. So definitely we need to break
Yes.
our goal
And
down and yes, make it
I'm gonna
easier.
I'm gonna share one last thing.
Yes.
It's from a great book that I have. I don't know if any of you have read this book, You Too, and it's a great book. So I'm gonna read real quick a little story that is in the book that is about how we need to think differently if we want to create different results in our lives. So the author said, I'm sitting in a quiet room at the Millcroft Inn, a peaceful little place hidden back among the pine trees about an hour out of Toronto. It's just past noon, late July, and I'm listening to the desperate sounds of a life or death struggle going on a few feet away. There's a small fly burning out the last of its short lived energies in a futile attempt to fly through the glass of the window pane. The winning, the whining wings tell the poignant story of the fly's strategy. Try harder, but it's not working. The frenzied effort offers no hope for survival. Ironically, the struggle is part of the trap. It is impossible for the fly to try hard enough to succeed at breaking through the glass. Nevertheless, this little insect has staked its life on reaching its goal through raw effort and determination. This fly is doomed. It will die there on the windowsill. Across the room, 10 steps away, the door is open. 10 seconds of flying time, and this small creature could reach the outside world it seeks. With only a fraction of the effort now being wasted, it could be free of this self imposed trap. The breakthrough possibility is there. It would be so easy. Why doesn't the fly try another approach, something dramatically different? How did it get so locked in on the idea that this particular route and determined effort offered the most promise for success? What logic is there in continuing until death to seek the breakthrough with more of the same? No doubt this approach makes sense to the fly. Regrettably, it's an idea that will kill. Trying harder isn't necessarily the solution to achieving more. It may not offer any real promise for getting what you want out of life. Sometimes, in fact, it's a big part of the problem. If you stake your hopes for a breakthrough on trying harder than ever, you may kill your chances for success.
Wow, that is awesome.
So, again, so many of us are so locked into a way of doing things and it's not working. And we think that we just need to do more and more and more and struggle harder and work harder and hustle more, but it's not working. We need to change the approach. We need to change the way we think. We need to change our perspective. When we change that, new possibilities open. When we change, it's like the fly stopping for a second and stop trying to crush through the window and instead take a look around, change its view of change its view, its perspective, and now seeing this possibility, this opportunity through this door. When we are so locked into one way of doing things that we don't open our mind up to other possibilities, we stay stuck. We struggle. So if you're struggling, if you're not getting the results that you want, open your mind, listen to new ideas, listen to people that have the results that you want to have, and be willing to be humble enough to learn from those people and try out those ideas and see how it works. Don't take anything that I tell you like it's the absolute truth. It's based on my experience. Whatever resonates with you, feel free to give it a try. And hopefully, it will create great results in your life. But if you try something and it doesn't work for you, then try something else and try something else and try something else. Change the approach, but never the goal. Thank you all so much for your time. I appreciate it. Jerome, thank you for
Thank you
having
so
me.
much. Thank you, dear Kevin. Thank you. Uh, one last thing, please. And I'm sure that some of us may be interested in your coaching program. Please, how can they reach out to you and benefit from your program?
Yeah, so what I want to say real quick is I'm putting it in the chat right there, the link l2mindset.com, that's the website.
Yes.
I have
Okay.
a training coming up this coming week, May 1st through the 3rd. It's a
Mhm.
30-day challenge. I'm starting a
Yes, and I
30-day
think it is
challenge.
a free.
It's free.
Free.
Yes, it's
Yes.
absolutely 100% free. There's nothing to pay. It's free. It's from 10 to 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, so 11 to 12 Eastern Time. I think it would be around 4 or 5 o'clock, maybe where you are. But if you cannot make it in person, if you cannot make it live like this, still sign up and you can get the recording. But it's free and it's 3 days of live training for an hour with me. And then we're going to have a challenge as part of the 30 days. We're going to provide some support, coaching, accountability. And so this is something that I want to do to really make a difference in the world, in the lives of others. And it's going to be about who the whole idea of the challenge is called the L2 Identity Shift Challenge. So it's about shifting our identity, shifting the way we see ourselves, shifting what we believe about ourselves, shifting what we believe is possible for us. Because when we make that internal shift, our actions change and our life changes. But it starts with that identity shift. So that's why I wanted to do this challenge. And I hope that every single one of you join us, because I know that if you show up, you take that knowledge and you implement it, you take action, your results will improve. Your life will change. You will transform in the next 30 days with that challenge that we're doing for free. So I just want to encourage you all to do that. And that's all I have.
Thank you so much, dear Kevin. Our deepest gratitude. God bless
Thank
you.
you, Jerome.
Thank you.
Have a great rest of your
Thank
weekend.
you.
Take care,
Yes,
everybody.
thank you. You too. Bye for now.